Bismillahirrahmanirrahim and Assalamualaikum everyone. My name is Anatha Grafis Zainiwala and I'm a level 1 student at a high school Islamabad campus. So today I'm here with new interview and my new special guest name is Kimberly. So welcome to ma'am to my interview. So please introduce yourself first of all.
Kimberly Wiefling, living in Silicon Valley, California, San Francisco Bay Area. Love innovation and technology. Studied physics in college for 7 years. Worked in engineering for many years before I realized human skills were much more powerful and important. So now I facilitate workshop learning labs all over the world, helping turn managers into leaders, groups into real teams who can get impossible things done. And it's not difficult because what we think is impossible means we don't know how yet.
Okay, nice answer. So my next question is ma'am is what inspired you to become a physicist?
Oh my gosh, when I was a child, I don't know why I loved science. I would collect specimens in the forest. I found a science book at my grandparents' house and I stole it. And I uh I don't know, I guess some science teachers paid a lot of attention to me and I was really lucky that I was able to get inspired by their support. Yeah, I think that's the main thing. A couple of science teachers really gave me some encouragement and support, and it stuck with me and just wanted to do it.
Okay, nice. So how did your experience at HP shape your leadership style?
Oh my gosh, HP was known for everyone getting along really, really well, but not necessarily worrying about getting things done. So it shaped my leadership style to think, no, 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 we have to find ways to get things done and get along. So I was kind of pushy. I was kind of difficult to work with. And at HP, I didn't really fit in because my Myers-Briggs type is get things done and focus and be direct. And they're more work together and be more collaborative. And but they don't care if they don't necessarily get results. So it was a little definitely difficult for me, I must say.
Okay, nice answer. So my next question is, what lesson did you learn from working in Silicon Valley startups?
Wow, I love Silicon Valley startups because there, if you don't get results, if you don't get things done, you go out of business. And I was much more appreciated uh, because people like results. So it was fantastic. I was still really aggressive and pushy, but I got results, and there, results really matter because if you don't get results, your business dies. But what I realized is even in startups, people liked my results, but they didn't really like working with me because I was so difficult. So after that, I decided I was kind of like being a hired assassin. They would bring me in when they need someone killed, but they didn't want to be seen having lunch with me, right? So I decided I wasn't going to be like that anymore. On my last startup, I decided when I leave this company, I'm going to have the relationships strong and intact. And I'm still going to push for results and with the relationships. And that worked out really well. And I learned a lot from that last startup, which I still have relationships with those people many, many years later. Mm.
Okay, nice. So my next question to you is, why did you decide to write Scrappy Project Management?
Oh, thank you. I love that question. Uh, well, for me, I was leading projects and I was doing product development, program management. And at the end of every project, these were hardware, software, firmware, complicated engineering projects. And at the end of every project, they tradition is to do a lessons learned meeting to say, what did we learn from this? What went wrong? And how can we learn from this? But I noticed the lessons learned were always the same. So I started calling them lessons not learned. So I said, why don't I write a book that can help people understand? look, here's the predictable and mostly avoidable causes of failure in your project. Please fail for new and more exciting reasons. So that's the reason I wrote Scrappy Project Management, because I hope that people will stop doing that stuff.
Okay. So what inspired you to found Wiefling Consulting?
Oh, well, after my last startup company went out of business, um, let's see. I guess I felt like I didn't really want to work for anybody anymore. I really don't like working for other people. I wanted to work for myself. So, I started my own company. I had actually started my own company 5 years before that, part-time while I was still working at a full-time job. And I liked it. And so I thought, why not work for myself? That'll be interesting. And it was interesting, but uh, it was really hard.
Oh,
But I'm glad I did it. It's been over 20 years, been doing my own business, of course, with lots of collaboration, with lots of support and partners. And I wouldn't change it. Yeah, I love it.
okay, nice. So can you tell us about Silicon Valley alliances and its missions?
Above Silicon Valley Alliances?
Yes, alliances and its mission.
Oh, well, I started working with all these wonderful people from all over the world. I met this incredible person in Tokyo, Yuko Shibata. She connected me with this organization there, and I started working through them for their clients. I met people in Tokyo. I met people who are amazing consultants. And then I pulled in people from Silicon Valley and other places that I knew to work with me on these big projects like innovation incubators, leadership laboratories. And so we all loved working together so much that whenever that organization in Tokyo was no longer my focus, I said, well, let's start our own company. Let's start Silicon Valley Alliances. So we all joined together on this website and said, we are one team all over the world. And so next month, I will be working in Frankfurt, Germany with two of the people that are in Silicon Valley Alliances. And our mission is to create these very interactive and engaging learning laboratories where people can learn to work together to put into practice what is known to be effective and to wipe out so much of the unnecessary pain and agony of working at a regular job. I mean, we base what we do on facts and proven research, and it has been really fun for us to go into organizations and help them realize what's been known for 30 years and put it into practice in their organizations. So, employee engagement goes up, people don't want to quit as much, and people's enjoyment of their work increases, as well as increased business results. Woohoo!
Okay, that's nice. So, ma'am, what are the biggest difference between Japanese and American business cultures?
Yeah, it took me a long time to realize that. I've been working with Japanese companies for about 20 years. And in the US, companies are focused on profits and shareholder returns and these quarterly reports to the financial advisors and stuff like that. In Japan, what I realize is the primary purpose of business is social fabric, to bring people together in a very healthy way to support society. And of course, it needs to be profitable so they can continue, but it's not mainly focused on only making money. And I think that's amazing. And it also, they care about the stakeholders. Of course, they care about the customers. Oh, Kyakusama, they say customer is God. And they also care about the communities in which they do business to enrich them, and they care about their people. So it has been kind of challenging sometimes to work in Japanese companies, and sometimes there can be very strictness, because we have to get the job done. Just do what's required, whether you feel like it or not. But I see that Japanese companies care about more than money. They care about the social cohesion and the communities in which they do business.
Okay, that's nice. So, what is our workshop learning lab?
Workshop learning lab. Well, you know what a classroom is, right? Because most people they go to a classroom and teacher lectures, tries to teach you. Well, what we do is we get you into a room. There's a circle of chairs. There's music playing during the breaks. There's all kinds of interesting toys lying around to stimulate your brain. There's exercises, activities, discussions. People go to flip charts and they discuss and they write down their thoughts. We have the people who are in the workshop help us facilitate. They might have a brain opening exercise or an icebreaker. They make their comments, they share their insights. So it is a place where people come together to learn together to co-create this learning experience. It is not a classroom. And the reason we do this is because classroom, eh, if you go into a classroom and just hear someone lecturing, when you leave, you forget about half right away. In a couple of months, you forget about 80%. And if you go into this workshop learning laboratory, though, you remember things because it connects. It has to be interactive, experiential, engaging, relevant to your real life, and project-based. So we do a lot of these things that are proven by Knoll's adult learning theory, it's called, to be much more effective at helping people change themselves, increase their put positive impact on their team, their organization, and ultimately on our world.
Okay, nice. So, what qualities define a great leader today?
Oh, I didn't do the research, but I can share the research that was done. Great leaders, they're a good example to their people. So it's called modeling the way. They do what they want their people to do. Speak and act in ways that you want your people, your team to act. That's called model the way. The second thing, and there's five things. The second is to inspire a shared vision so they can all be looking at the future together and being inspired by this, a purpose beyond profit, a mission that matters. And also, the best leaders challenge the process. Maybe we've done it the same way for the last 10 years, but why do we need to continue? Maybe we should change. Companies that don't have these leaders go out of business. So you have to challenge the process, challenge what we're doing, and challenge, is there a better way? Is there something different? Should we be assessing what's working, what's not working, what's missing, what to change to work better? And then the next thing they do is to enable their people to provide help and resources, to remove obstacles, to encourage them so that they can be successful. It's not about the leader looking great. It's about their people being successful. And finally, it's to encourage the heart, to appreciate, to recognize their contributions, to celebrate the successes, to make sure that they encourage the human side of the people that they're working with. So model the way, inspire a shared vision, challenge the process, enable others to act, and encourage the heart. That comes from Barry Posner and Jim Kouzes, the Leadership Challenge, 30 years of research on over 70 different countries, millions of leaders all over the world about what really works.
Okay, nice. So, can you share an example of turning an impossible project into a successful one?
Oh my gosh, there's so many. Well, the most famous one in the US history is to go to the moon. I mean, people said a rocket will never leave Earth's atmosphere. Another example is in 1895. Um, a famous British mathematician said heavier than air flying machines are impossible. Lots of smart people say things are impossible when they don't know how to do it. But for me, I helped one organization do almost 100 different projects And I, I mean, it was amazing because out of those 100 different projects over the last 20 years, over 50 of them happened. I didn't think of the projects their people did.
Okay, nice. So, how do you handle conflict within a team?
Conflict. Let's see. Conflict is the tough one because people don't like to have conflict. But if you don't address conflict, then they have this illusion of people getting along. So the first thing we do, okay, here's the main thing. One of the reasons we don't have conflict is because people are so afraid of it. But we need to have healthy conflict. But that requires you to have a team that you trust. And that means you have to build psychological safety. So first thing I do is build relationships, build trust in the team, build psychological safety, and then you can discuss, hey guys, when we have a conflict, how can we handle it in a positive way? So that's really important to before there's a conflict to negotiate how you're going to handle it.
Okay, that's nice. So, my next question to you is, what role does emotionally intelligent play in leadership?
Oh, it's huge. It's been proven that the best, most effective leaders and executives, they have high EQ. It's not only about IQ. There's lots of really smart people that are terrible at interacting with humans. So, so I mean, being smart is okay, but if you don't know how to work together, you can only do things that require one person. And so emotional intelligence allows you to tackle things that only a team can achieve. For example, everyone's watching the FIFA soccer, football matches. And it's funny because you have to have 11 people on the team to play soccer. If you were one really great soccer player, but you couldn't work together with your teammates, you wouldn't be a great team. So it's the same with emotional intelligence in the workplace. If you can't connect to people and get people to work together towards a shared goal, you're limited to only what one smart person can do. And that turns out to be pretty small these days. Most of the things that are worth doing require a team.
Okay, that's nice. So, my next question to you is, what ethically concern should we consider when using AI?
Concern? Well, the same concern you should have about using a kitchen knife. Use it
Use
properly.
using AI.
Use AI,
Yes.
the same concerns as when you're using a kitchen knife. It's a dangerous thing if you use it wrong, and it's a powerful, useful tool if you use it right. So I would say, yeah, use it properly as you would a kitchen knife. And be careful that you don't harm yourself or others. And you can use it for many good things. It's a tool. It has to be used properly.
Okay. So, my next question to you is, what inspired you to keep learning after so many years?
Well, I just love learning. It's fun. And one of the things about uh, the field that I'm in Silicon Valley is things change so fast. Anything you learn in school in technology, for example, it's obsolete within 5 years. And in the days of AI and such rapid change, it's even faster than that. So, learning keeps your brain alive, learning keeps your life interesting for me, and I like to learn together with my friends. So, we have learning communities, co-learning communities. Like every other week, I meet with my colleagues to learn about AI and learn different tools. And during COVID, I met every day, every week for 70 weeks with my colleagues to figure out how to do virtual meetings instead of in-person meetings. So it was very interesting to to experience that. But for me, it's just fun. I mean, if you're not learning, what would you be doing? Just watching TV all day? I don't know. Like, or just going playing. Playing is fun. And I think for me, learning is also fun. So that's for me. I don't know if everybody feels that way.
Okay, nice. So, my last question to you is, Finally, what does creating a better world for all truly mean to you?
For me, I think it's been very well summarized by the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. The United Nations a long time ago said, "Oh my gosh, we need to make sure everybody on this planet has a decent place to live, healthy food and water, an education, safety, and healthcare, and then a whole bunch of other sustainable development goals." I don't know if you're familiar with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, but um, I think that's what it means. Unfortunately, it's been so difficult to achieve them because there are 17 of these sustainable development goals. But unfortunately, there's politics and countries hating each other and fighting each other and crazy people exploding each other. And it's just insane. So I think I no longer think that governments or politicians are going to be able to create what we need to create a world that is this kind of world that I dream of. So what I've learned is some of the companies I do business with do business in 40, 50, over 100 countries. And what we say is when products and services cross borders, when money crosses borders through business, bullets and bombs don't. So I strongly believe that helping to create very effective global companies that do business across borders and boundaries of every kind will make the world a better place. I mean, there are some companies in this world that do business in almost 200 countries. So when people get to know each other and work together as a real team for profit, for business, and something they really care about, and after they get out of my workshops, they really love each other, even though they're from 40 different countries or whatever. Then they don't want to kill each other. They care about each other when an earthquake hits or a tsunami strikes. So I strongly believe that bringing people together in these companies across country borders build a stronger world for everybody. And I want at some point to reduce the waste and increase the chances that everyone on planet Earth has a decent, wonderful, healthy life. And that should be possible because in the US, for example, we even in the US, which is such a rich country, about 20% of people don't have enough food to eat, but we throw away like 60% of the food that's created that people take and put in their refrigerators and stuff. That's insane. So we have to reduce waste, increase efficiency and effectiveness, and make sure everybody has what they need to live a happy, healthy, safe, and abundant life.
Okay, that's nice.
Okay. Okay. Well, thank you for the interview. It was really fun. I'm
Okay,
looking forward to hearing more about your success in the future.
okay. So, this was our today interview. I hope you like it. See you another interview, another session. Till then, Allah Hafiz, Pakistan with love.